Hey folks, it's Farmer Marshall. It's my day where I really need to go into doing some harvesting in my fall winter garden. I have carrots, I have beets, and I have some onions in this one bed that I'm sitting next to. It was looking really pretty until we had some bad winter weather, for Georgia at least. And now that it's started to warm up, I'm seeing lots of weeds. So I need to harvest these guys. I kind of want them to stay a little longer, but if I wait any longer, I'm not going to be able to get done the things I want to get done in my garden. Because this garden bed here needs to be moved because I'm about to put trellises out along the row here. This will probably be moved back or maybe centered. I still got to finish up my quail hutch because my quail eggs will be here this week. So let's go and harvest these carrots. Now before I harvest these, I got to tell you, I have two different types of carrots out here and more weeds than I can think of. Over here I have a shorter, stubbier carrot. I have pulled a few out. And over here I have a longer, normal sized carrot, but I don't know how big they're going to be because I had a great germination rate on these. However, my one mistake, I know it was a mistake, but life started lifing. They germinated and I didn't thin them out. So, you know what happens when you don't thin your carrots out? Some of them, first, well, I've pulled a few out before, but some of them turn out like this. But I get the feeling, and these are the shorter carrots here. So these are supposed to be short, stubby. I don't remember how big this is supposed to get. But I like that, some are coming out about this size. I like that they're coming out, they aren't all crooked and funky looking. Last year when I did carrots, oh my goodness, looked like they were driving Georgia roads because they were all turned and, yeah, see? Let's see if I can get something that's not bad out of here. Tons of weeds, as you can see. Some like this, more like this. Okay, we run into a spot that's not as bad. These guys here. Remember, these are mainly the shorter, stubbier ones. Hopefully I'm getting these on camera well. Definitely more satisfactory or more satisfied looking at these than I am looking at these. Just in case the camera didn't pick them up. This is what they were looking like. Some nice ones in here like this, but too many of them are looking like this. I really should have thinned them out, but I gotta tell you, I'm not completely unsatisfied with what's coming out of here. This is maybe the second time ever that I've tried to grow carrots. Weeds. So to get some that look good, and obviously many that look bad. Okay, look at that one. That one's kind of cute. That's probably closer to the size they're supposed to be. And I do have, as I get along here, I have my other type carrots. I wish I could remember the variety, but this here, one thing about failure, like I said, I've only grown carrots a couple times, and one year they were looking all funky. This one here, I'm pretty satisfied with that. I mean, one thing about failure, hopefully you learn from them. And I did learn Oh, look at this. This is what I'm talking about. I'm sure all of them aren't going to be like this, but still. Sure, some of these are kind of squirrely, real thin, like this. But some of the others, this is so much better than previous years or last year. I think it was last year, 1 year, or just 2 years ago I grew carrots. Of course, there's still some in here that, look at that, stuck right in the middle of those. Hope you can see them. Stuck right in the middle of those are all these here. So I have these guys that are looking pretty decent. This one's trying to look sexy. Look at those curves in that carrot. That's not what I wanted, but I'll take it. Good sized carrot. Some of the other ones are small, but some are like this. They're all edible. So at first, I must admit, I was looking pretty sad. Still, some of these are still kind of sad. I should have thinned them out. That's the biggest issue I had with these. I know I should have thinned them out, but I'm not going to whine about it because I do have carrots. Some look pretty good. Some have the length. Some have the thickness. Others are a little bit, still not horrible. I give it a C. But all the decent sized ones are next to the ones which are super tiny. Wonder what my beets are gonna look like. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Not perfect looking carrots, but hey, they're a little squiggly. I thought my dirt was loose enough for them to go straight, but hey, I'm not gonna complain. So what am I gonna do with these carrots? Well, two things. One, I am going to, even though I don't have a ton of carrots, I'm going to juice some of them because I absolutely love carrot juice. Also, one thing you might want to know is the carrot tops are edible. I put a lot of this stuff right here is weeds. It was completely full of carrot tops, and then as the weather warmed up down here in Georgia 8A, the weeds started taking over, and it wasn't going to get any better. So some of these I'm going to juice. They taste pretty good because I did pick some a couple weeks ago. I was just picking through just to see what was going on. Also, something else I didn't do as much as I should have. I should have fertilized more than I did. Life be lifing. Sometimes you can only do so much. But I'm trying to get better at managing my time for my garden and for you, for videos. That's it with the carrots. So let's go on with the beets. Now these beets I left in here way too long. They are beet is not supposed to take too long. It's supposed to be a smaller beet. I didn't try to plant any bigger beets because I was so unsure of what I was doing. That's about how big most of these beets should be. I did not thin them out, but the beet seeds are a little bigger, so it is a little easier to go on and plant them. Besides, the beet seeds are three seeds in one, so it's almost like a seed pod. The beets, just like the carrots, some came out decent, or some came out decent, some came out tiny. And the reason I plant them together is basically since they're both root vegetables. Not much there. That's the best of those four. I will make sure that I do a better job next time in thinning them out and fertilizing them. That's actually my goal for this season. Or, well, one of my goals for this year is to make sure that I fertilize more, water more. Look at those. They're all edible, but they're small. The top growth was great, so I did something right. But if you're not thinning certain things out, you're going to struggle. And this is just an honest video. Part of me didn't want to film it, but I'm like, I keep it real with you. Because I knew beforehand that this was not going to be a pretty video, because I picked some carrots and I looked at the beets. I'm definitely more satisfied with the carrots. A few decent sized beets. And remember, these aren't supposed to be big beets. These are smaller beet. It's supposed to be like a 30-day beet. Yeah, definitely should have thinned these out. But just like with the carrots, I'm probably going to juice the beets. I might eat a few. I would love. Oh, look at that one. That's not bad. That's about how big it's supposed to be. His little brother. Well, apparently my camera decided that it had too many videos on it, and it went on and shut off. So I'll put a picture up of whatever you miss. So let's take a look at a few other things I have out here that kind of surprised me. Well, I knew I had some purple cauliflower or broccoli out here. I just didn't know where it was because I had issues with plant labels. Oh, I did buy some new plant label markers. They're supposed to be waterproof and fade resistant. So hopefully these guys will be ready in a couple more weeks. I fed them a couple days ago. Got some more items that weren't labeled. Might be, I thought it was supposed to have some purple cauliflower out here too, but I can't see anything happening with these. Oh, or yellow cauliflower, orange cauliflower. Can you see that buddy up in there? It was hiding. Here's another one here. I knew I had another variety of cauliflower out here. Hope you can see that one. This is probably one too. I had some other plants that the labels came off. One turned out to be turnips. So I'm going to go and harvest that one. And I had another one over here somewhere. excuse me, this tiny one right here, tiny Tim. And there's another one over here. So I think we're going to harvest that. It's almost completely off the ground. That's a pretty turnip. I like that. I think it is supposed to be a, well, it's purple. So I guess it's a purple turnip. So I'm going to harvest a couple of these guys here. I think I only had 2 or 3 that came through. There we go. So I got root vegetables. And I do still have some cabbage out here. Pretty decent sized heads. Maybe give it another week or so. This one's definitely big enough. That's grocery store size. So is this one over here. This one, yeah, they're all about grocery store size. So I'm pretty happy with that. This isn't turning into a complete garden too, but let me show you. These are some collard greens that I harvested earlier. I used the cut and come again method, so I cut a lot of, as you can see, I cut these pieces right here. I cut a bunch of leaves off before we had a winter storm. Did the same thing with this one, this one, this one, and this one here. And they've put on probably about 50% of the leaves on here are new leaves, new growth. So hopefully maybe end of March, early April, I'll be able to harvest them, and hopefully they won't bolt before then. Well, folks, one thing when you're trying to grow food, sometimes you're going to have success, sometimes you're going to have failure. But if you come over here, you're going to see both. So I shared this video out just because I need to get some things done, but come back. I'm going to be showing you the good, the bad, the ugly, and I might even show you the dogs next time. So see you next time. Now let's get out there and get a little dirty. Yeah.